Okay, I think this is okay. I had to change some stuff around, but hopefully we're still good. We should still be good, yes. Okay. Okay, let's put on some match while I do other stuff. Okay. Okay. That's going. We should be fine. Hello, welcome to the stream already. How is it going, everyone? Was that a weird one? I don't remember. I don't remember. That's something I'm actually losing against. Welcome to the stream, Crystalex, Hamburger, Sofia, and Mie. How is it going? I have a good feeling about today. Generally, I have a good feeling. I'm fantastic. But we'll see what happens when we start pulling, right? But generally, I think I have a good feeling. Interesting to see how my OBS is already having problems with, you know, functioning correctly. You found a way to nerf it then? How? I was just saying that the specific current like score attack is not good with Ren, which, yeah, they can do stuff like that. But yeah, hello Epic and Uncle and everyone else who's joined in the meantime. As well as Tonix Gaming. Let's see. So, today we got the Tart Magica, who has arrived on our doorstep, the entirety of it. Maybe not the entirety of it, but like one of the windows. I think the first part of it. There we go. Look how red it is. Wow. Look at that. There was like some 3D in there. Holy shit. Corbo. Damn. Yes, we've gotten it. Nice. Tried using Redding at one shot. We'll figure out what is happening in the score attack. But for now, I don't want to waste any more time. What? We have tower as well. I'm gonna get those rewards. You know, they're gonna help pulling. Because as you can see, we're gonna skip up to level 80. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Wow. Okay. We have something new. It is Tart Magica. Hey Violet, what are you back on doing math? Oh, good luck on that math. So we have the free daily pull right here. This pull itself doesn't really matter that much. The important part is that if you roll on this often enough, you get a free 5-star key. So this is really just a free 5-star key in disguise behind some pulls. Okay, then we have some keys. I'm just going to roll these out. What else do we have? We have a 4-star key. It's a 4-star, it's what it says on its tin. Then we also have some, I have some 5-star keys from recently. Gonna roll all those out as well. Let's see what we get. Madoka. We have a lot of rolling to do. At least comparatively. Then we have 4 5-star guaranteed keys that I've amassed in the meantime. Let's see. That's what we have. A for Saka and A0 Tart for 6k. That is absolutely worth. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, Mel, that's good. I need a lot more ascensions than that. If you new review video, thank you very much. And we got another then. I'll take every single item we can get. Just generally, you can never go wrong with moderns. And we got another Torka. That's a Ascension 5 for Torka. Wow. I'm never gonna actually use her. But I guess it's good for the stats, you know? I guess it's good for the stats. So, let's see. We have a whole bunch of rolls. Let's see how many rolls we need to get Tart, if we even get her before 200. Let's find out. I would also like a lot of, you know, 5 stars. Until then, I would be very happy if we got a lot of 5 stars. Okay, what do we got? Nothing so far. So I guess we didn't get a super duper luck on the very first roll. Okay, I guess at least one of them had to be a bust. But now, maybe now we can already get. Okay, maybe not. Okay, nothing so far. We should start it, you know? Still doesn't look like anything? No, that's another mineral. Oof. It's okay, we just started. Okay, no tell. Oh, reverse key doesn't mean anything. Okay, we still didn't get a tell. A tell for good luck. Where's a good luck tell? Still no good luck tell. Oof. That is not good. But we did get a 5-star from the key. That's something. We still only just started. Okay, still no tell. Ooh. That's not good. That's some bad luck right here. No, the rate is great. I'm just having some bad luck, which sometimes happens. Nope, that ain't it either. That ain't it, champ. That ain't it, chief. That's a long-ass loading screen. That is a long-ass loading screen. I didn't just crash, did I? I did just crash. Never mind, we're back. What the fuck was that? What was that? No, that was nothing. Don't worry, guys. It's okay. It's okay. Was Bobby ending bittersweet or the best ending? It was alright. That's the gacha skill right here. Never mind, it's still nothing. Wow, not a single faster in 100 rolls. That is statistically quite unlikely. That is statistically highly unlikely. Okay, 12% chance, 12%. It's gonna be something. It's at least gonna be something. Okay, it was something. Like, it can't spook you and then suddenly go, actually it's a 4-star. Sorry. Hope they had a pity system for anniversary. It's actually possible. Nemu? Your order was A5 somehow? Okay, well, we have to keep rolling. Okay, that is getting kind of weird. I'm gonna go a little bit faster now because we don't have to actually go through the animation every single time. But I want to see a tell. Nope. Oh, there's something. 25% chance. I'll take another in. I always take more ins. Still nothing. Wow. That is insanely bad luck. Nope. Still nothing. They don't need to increase the rate. The rate is totally fine. Sometimes you just have bad luck. That's just part of gacha gamings. That's part of randomness generally. And this luck right now is rancid. This is some rancid fucking luck. Like, unless the rate is 100%, you can always have bad luck. That was small orbs and we got nothing. Small orbs betrayed us. I thought small orbs wouldn't betray us. Oh, that is something. That is a different camera angle. Which, by the way, doesn't mean it's a 5-star, but it makes it more likely that it's a 5-star. Okay, let's see. It's something. Come on, 25% chance. We didn't get the 25% chance. We didn't even get a new thing generally. That is 200. We're now at 200. Still, no, wait a second. That could actually be it. That could actually be it at 200. Nope, that is still not it. And it's already in the Ascension 5. Well, that's 200. Shit happens. By the way, you need 10 of the free daily rolls for the 5-star key. Well, that's the way it is. Sometimes luck just isn't on your side. If you don't want to see ads, don't worry. There's an easy way around that. You can sub and become a member. So yeah, we have Tart now. Or Darc, or however you want to call her. It's fine. You can call her however you want. All the way on the back side. Never mind, not even all the way on the back. He's in front of the Oriko gang? Okay. I guess she's more important than Oriko Magica, like as a spin-off. That's the portrait. Actually, we can totally go for the entirety of all stories now, right? Yeah, also, that would give us all stories already. Because now you get all magical stories even at 8. Then also happened with it happened with a bunch of characters so far. Okay, now keep in mind though that the story is actually locked because it's spoilers for later parts of Tart Magica, so they had to lock it. Which is kind of sad, but you know. It's gonna be added in the future when it's no longer spoiler stuff. Okay, let's take a look. Actually, no, I was there. No, we didn't get a portrait for it. I think the portrait is also locked. I don't know what we're gonna do with Flink Rate, or no, not with Flink Rate, with Score Attack. We'll have to see. But yeah, we have... I couldn't have said it better myself. What did you say? Okay, this, that. This. And this, and that, and then we have La Lumiere. What actually scales with level? So the buff, the how strong the buff is scales with level. And of course the damage. So yeah, it's actually pretty important to scale this one, if you can. Which means that in the future when we get sort of randomly spooked by her, we might get some pretty cool stuff. Actually also do this, that's what they're for. Okay, let's see what we got. Do you use her EX? I don't think you do, right? No, you do not use her EX. I think her EX is something that you don't use. You can use the defense, but that's not really that important. You can actually totally go for this, by the way, so hold up. This one, you can go this one here. You could go for defense. Not necessary, though. You could do a lot of things, really. Guard would be important, of course. I didn't get a guard. You can go for this right here, right? Now you can do a bunch of mix and matching. You can go offensive. You can say the F word at the enemy. Yeah, no, this will probably not be good enough. Okay, you definitely go aggressive with her. I don't think you do anything like... I don't think you're gonna try and do something defensive in any way. You're gonna go full ham. So maybe something like this where you attack, weakness, then still a guard, because of course you should still have a guard if possible. Tart is really attacker or defender. Well, it says she's a defender, that means she's a defender. But yeah, the thing is you can sort of choose and match and kind of do whatever you want. There's not really like a best way of doing it. Just do whatever you think is good. And then you can go full offensive, like crit rate, crit damage and everything on here. And you can do that if you want. You don't have to, you can do whatever you want really. Okay, so how does Tart actually work? She's very, very simple. So her skill gives a berry to everyone because she's a defender, of course. But then she also gives herself a unique buff that makes her have like a provoke. And it also makes it so that whenever she gets hit, she buffs all allies' attack. And then she can also build extra charge. What does charge do? Charge is used for a passive where the more charge she has, the more attack and speed she has. Awesome. And she gains charge whenever she gets attacked, or whenever an ally attacks, or whenever an enemy reaches max break bonus, or whenever she uses her skill or her basic attack. Basically everything she does or that happens in the fight gives her charge. And that gives her more attack and speed. And also you start the battle with a barrier and everyone. Awesome. And then you can spend your charge to have a really big special attack that also buffs everyone. Awesome. So yeah, very simple. Build charge, spend it, and be strong. And be fast. Nice. The support ability is... I don't really care too much. It's not really that great. The EX, I think, is also not that great. Yeah, the EX is kind of bad. Don't use the EX. It's really bad. The A2 is fine, but not really necessary. It's an okay A2. So... But she kind of lacks stats, because she actually can make some use with her because she gets some use out of her attack. She actually does want to get ascensions just for the attack bonus, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah, she does decently well with attack then. Okay, now that we have Tart, let's find out what the score attack is, because apparently people said the score attack is really, really difficult, right? So let's just go through the battles right here. So we need to unlock the score attack first, of course. And by the way, this right here is my link rate team. It's really powerful, as you might imagine, because why would I use a weak team for my link rate team? Because I'm going to use a strong team for my link rate team. There's no music for this one. Well, guess we're going to have to use some music. What do we got? I don't recommend using Devil Hormone for score attack. Well, we'll see what happens. People have already been telling me like score attack is so fucking crazy and no one can beat it, and it's like really, really difficult, and you can't use this, and you can't use that, and you can't use this. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's probably gonna be a lot easier than people think, you know? If you just... I don't know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. The load times are pretty long today. Could it be that a lot of people are playing at once? Because that would explain why the server might be a little bit more hammered than usual. Was Darc always that pink? Not quite that pink, but she definitely did have pink to her. Quite a bit, actually. But maybe not that pink. Just a little strange. We'll see. Okay, last one, then we're gonna have to do a quick story skip, and then we're ready for score attack. We are, of course, going to use Tart, because, of course, we're going to use Tart. Even if Tart isn't good, right? We're still going to use her. Okay, let's see. I do a bunch of skips here. It makes the red dot go away, and it gives me free gems. Don't worry too much about score attack. If you do a little bit less damage in score attack than other players, it's totally fine. Oh, it's Cube. Did you see that? That was Cube. Okay. Score attack. This one lasts until anniversary. Okay, what does it say? The boss's magic increases when it is attacked. The one's magic reaches max, it delivers a powerful counterattack, and note that the boss's magic increases more when more debuffs are applied to the Kyoku that is attacking. That is a really weird way of wording that, but yeah, I guess I know what it means. Kyoku with a barrier that can avoid certain debuffs, so it's best to ensure to have a barrier applied when attacked. Let's actually just go to the battle and see what the actual text is, because that text is a bit abridged. Okay. Okay, what do we have? Grants 2 actions, activates La Danse Macabre each time own magic reaches max. When attack, grants 1 magic. When an enemy has 3 or more debuffs, grants an additional 1 magic. At turn start, significantly decreases all enemies' HP recovery amount, increases speed with each passing turn. Deals 4 damage to all enemy, removes buffs. Oh, that's kind of sad. Permanently increases their own attack, effect decreases resets on magic. Deals void damage to an enemy, great damage increases greatly decreases void resistance of enemies without a barrier. I see. Greatly increases speed without a barrier, greatly increases attack while enemies without a barrier. We get it, barrier. That's 2 turns to the duration of debuffs effect. Oh. So yeah, that's basically it. Starts with 6 magic, interestingly enough. Let's see how strong the counter-attack is. So off elements are of course getting shreked, but that's nothing new. Let's see how strong the counter is. Oh my god, it gets a full animation! I mean, that is her Kyoku special attack. Decently powerful, yeah. We did a decent amount of break damage already, actually. Okay, let's build a team. So we're gonna use Tart no matter what happens. Is Tart even on element, by the way? Of course she's on element. That would be sad. Okay. We need defense. What's the best defense one currently? Where is it? That's the best defense one. Okay. MP recovery would actually be pretty good. Defense is also nice. Yeah, no, we're definitely going Kirika. The MP is just too good. Now we need light, dark, void. Light, dark, void. Huh. People have been saying Madokami, which, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Now, we could actually go Akuma Homura. And people have said, no, don't use Akuma Homura. Just watch. People have also said, no, don't use it then. It's okay, don't worry. What was the third one? Oh, Void. Void is also good. So the thing is, I don't actually think Tart is very good here. I'm going to say it right away, Tart is probably bait on this one. Because Tart doesn't actually give much damage reduction to the team. Like, it's very clear that the developers want you to have a barrier. So they want you to have a defender. But Tart isn't very good at having strong barriers. Like, Tart's barriers are actually probably the worst. Tart probably has the worst barriers out of any defender because she doesn't have a passive buff, right? Because she doesn't increase defense of her... She doesn't increase her own defense, she doesn't increase the team's defense, she doesn't give damage reduction, which means that her barriers only absorb exactly as much HP as it says they absorb, but for all the other defenders, those barriers absorb a way more than it actually shows on the number. Because, for example, they also give like damage reduction and defense up is a damage reduction, so the team takes less damage, which means barriers last for longer, right? But Tart doesn't have any of that, which means that her barriers break instantly. They break really, really fast. However, I just rolled Tart, and I want to do a review on Tart, so of course I'm going to use her, right? Even though I'm going to say right now, Tart is not good in this fight. She's going to be really, really bad in this fight. So I wouldn't use her otherwise, but I have to. I have to use her. It is non-negotiable that we are going to use her. Now here's an interesting part though. Both Void and Darc are really, really good at hitting an enemy very often. but this enemy punishes you for hitting the enemy often, which kind of plays against what Darc is actually good at. Like, Darc loves hitting the enemy many times. Like, Ui, for example, makes you hit the enemy very often. You have Mifuyu, who gets bonus specials to hit the enemy very often, right? Like that, if you get a lot of bonus attacks on the enemy with Darc. But the enemy specifically counters that. And Void loves going fast and get bonus extra turns and whatever. Like, Bow Homura gets extra turns, you get extra attacks from Ren, for example, right? So the boss specifically counters what those elements are good at. Now, is there a way around that? I say yes, but I'm gonna have to test it out a bit. We're gonna have to feel around. So let's just throw some team up and see what happens, right? We're gonna have to do some testing here. I can also actually see Iroha being good here. Iroha might actually be very good. In fact, no, I'm gonna use Iroha. She actually seems really good. Right? I'm not entirely certain, but Iroha actually does seem really good here. She might be the best breaker actually for this one. What else do we have? Bet you guys didn't see that coming, that I was gonna say that today. Light is on element, so we can actually use this. And then we can have Mabayu Akuma Homura memes. Yeah, that's great. Now the weak point of this team, I'm gonna say right now, the weak point of this team is Tart. Not because she's Ascension 0, but because, like I said, she doesn't have good barriers. Like, really bad, actually. Pluvia's probably best here. No, Pluvia breaks way too slowly. You need to rush this guy down. This girl down. You need to rush her down as hard as you can. We are not going to survive many turns, which means we need to break her immediately. Which means we need to have concentrated single target breakage as fast as we possibly can. And who has the highest, or at least as far as the highest per hit? I think Iroha is up there with other breakers as, with only very few breakers, as having like the highest per hit break gauge depletion in the game. So she is actually perfect here. She's actually perfect here. Now what else do we have? We don't have much crit rate, so we're not gonna use that one. You can get speed, that's fine. You can get speed, MP recovery, defense. Yeah, I think it's gonna fall apart because our barriers are gonna break way too quickly because of Tart. But like I said, I'm gonna use it. I'm absolutely gonna use it. We're still gonna do it. We also need some levels here, please. Levels are kind of important. Mabiu portrait for crit. Crit rate, you mean? No. Crit rate is a... Crit rate on Iroha is bait. That's 100% bait. Crit rate on Iroha. What I use instead, by the way, for Crystallis, is I use her EX and speed. That's what you need. You need EX and you need speed. And a bit of MP if you can get faster breakpoints. I could theoretically use a guard. Actually, I could use a guard here as well. But the EX makes it so that you should never actually miss a crit. Theoretically. And if you do miss too many crits, you just reset. You just reset the battle if you miss too many crits. But yeah, you definitely don't use crit rate. You never use crit rate on anyone. Like, a crit rate portrait is always bait. Always. Every single time. Never use it. Don't ever use crit rate portrait. What else do we need? This is fine. Is this fine? This should be it. I think we're gonna use Tsuruno on this one. The thing about crit rate is that if you have too low crit rate, just reset. When you miss too many crits. It's that simple. That's the way to deal with that. Yeah. So yeah, I've said it many times. I've said it again. I'm just gonna say it again. Tart is probably the weak point, but we're gonna use Tart because we need to see. We need to just have video of Tart fighting. I want to have video of Tart fighting, even if she's bad in this particular fight. Well, crit damage. Crit damage is fantastic. Crit damage is fantastic. Okay. I want to actually have... Okay, we're gonna go as hard as possible. Now we are quite slow because we don't have a speed buffer. Our speed buffer doesn't have a turn yet. Okay, that's a crit. Give myself music again. Almost half break, by the way. As you can see, the barrier has already broken. That's really bad. The barrier should not have broken yet. But there's just not much I can do about that. Like, the barrier breaking this fast is really, really bad. Tart is also not that fast until she gets her buffs going. And you get punished in this battle before you even get to buffs. So yeah, Tart ain't it, Chief. Tart ain't it. Okay, we can't break yet, so I'm gonna save some skill points here. We're almost broken. This might be a bit overkill, this double turn right here, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Fuck it. Okay, here's an important part. She gains a magic stack when she gets attacked. When attacked. This is not an attack. I need a skill point for Tart buff. Fucking Mario. Okay, good thing we did the double turn because I wasn't quite sure how that was gonna work out. Okay, now we do this. Okay, here we go. La Lumière. And here we go. Time for the fun part. Now we're gonna have very low MP because I don't have a buff yet. Jenna needs a buff. We're gonna get a bonus turn. No, we're not gonna get a bonus turn because we don't actually have her maximum yet. Do we need turns over there? We don't need turns over there, but nah, I kind of would like it. Fuck it. Ouch! Ouch! that was more than I expected. Yeah, that went a bit fast. We killed the boss way too fast. Okay, to be fair, I only used Akuma Homura because I think someone in chat was saying, or someone in Discord was saying, don't use Akuma Homura because you're gonna kill yourself really fast. Yeah, no, not really. Okay, let's actually use a good DPS that actually doesn't immediately whiff. Because that was a whiff. that was a whiff. Okay, what else do we have? Dark Light. So yeah, people were mostly using Marukami because it's not AoE, right? Because as it turns out, there's not many choices for like good single target. Cool Homura is proximity, so Akuma Homura is AoE. This is AoE, right? Then we have where else damage dealers? That's not damage dealers. There's not even that many damage dealers of those types. This is proximity. This is proximity. Huh. Where the fuck are our single target? Where the fuck is our single target for Void, Dark, and Light? Void, Dark, and Light don't have single target DPS. What the fuck? What? How are there 3 elements that don't have a single target DPS? That is absurd. I'm not gaslighting myself, aren't I? There's just no single target DPS for these. Because this is also proximity. Like, Marukami is also technically proximity. Don't use ult. Yeah, don't use ult outside of break anyway. And if you get the break, kill the boss. So you should never use a... Like, if you use your attacker special, you should be killing the boss before the boss comes out of break anyway. So yeah, that should not be an issue, hopefully. But yeah, I don't think there's any good DPS for this element. For these 3 elements. That is insane. When you get F5 Akuma Homura off screen, yeah, there's no good choice. There just isn't a good choice at all. Like, this is proximity, but I think it's still our best choice. We could also go with Dark Heart Dominion Homura, but it takes a really long time for her to get special. I don't actually know if she gets special in time. The good part is she's gonna have 100% crit rate because she's A4, but apart from that, like, this is 330%. 330%? That's fucking nothing. What? Even if she was Ascension 5, there wouldn't be anything. Yeah, no, there's no good choice. What the fuck? How have... Even after 1 year, they have not released a single, pure single target, Dark, Light, or Void DPS. Absolutely absurd. Yeah, 420%. That's the best we can do. That is actually the best we have. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But yeah, the true secret is to just use Mabayu with Iroha. I think people overlook Iroha on this boss. I think people overlooked Iroha. People were sleeping on Iroha, man. Good luck with the pulse. We already did the pulse, and I didn't get anything in 200, so it didn't go very well. Okay, do this. Bam. We don't have skill points if we use this, so we kind of have to do this, sadly. Yeah, Iroha is easily the best here, especially with Mabayu. Iroha, Mabayu. Potentially Iroha with Hazuki if you don't have Mabayu, but it's always kind of dicey to use Hazuki because you have to do really well with the thing. If we do this, we can maybe break a little bit sooner. Like the speed tuning, I mean. The speed tuning can get kind of awkward if you're using Hazuki. We can actually go full. Because we might... Actually, I'm not certain we're going to break her before then, but I think we do. Do we break her before she gets 10? I think we break her before she gets 10. But she's gonna get 1 from her attacks here, maybe? Let's see. No, she's still on 7. That's 8. That might be it with the special? Ooh, that is not quite it. Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if she does a special or not. We're well good enough on this. Yeah, this might be a single target Darc attacker. Oh, she's at 10, but she's not doing it yet? Why? Shouldn't she be doing it right now? Or is it in between turns? I actually don't know. I think we do this here. Is she gonna do it now? Yep, told you. I don't know why she didn't do it on that turn, to be fair. Okay, bonk. Okay, please get more break gauge percentage. We got our buffs removed, which is kind of sad, but we can do this. Do this. Buff back. We lost our Tart buff, sadly, but it is what it is. At least I think we lost our Tart buff, I don't know. Okay, self buff. I think we have to go now, because we're about to lose some buffs if we pass this turn. Hey, Alex Gamer, how is it going? We're currently absolutely fucking shredding this boss. Shoot you Hawk. Concentrated gunfire. Yeah, that's not a lot of damage. We didn't crit either, sadly. Yeah, we did not crit that. We're gonna get a bonus turn here. Dude, I don't have a good DPS for this. What the fuck? What DPS? I just want to see what DPS other people used. Let me just check. By the way, I think it's also possible to do this without a defender. I'm not entirely certain. Okay, I just want to see. Do you also use Homoda? Yeah, Madokomi would be the next best choice. But not that many people have really high Ascension Madokomi, so... Huh. Is Madokomi really the only good choice for this? I guess? Yeah, I guess Madokomi really is the only good choice here for like a really high level DPS, I mean. Someone did it with Ascension 5, Dad Homuda as well. I guess you do get to crit if you play with Dad Homuda. Yeah, you do get to crit at least. Because I didn't even have crit there. Yes, people are of course using Kirika. Mifuyu as breaker, no, Iroha is way better on this boss as a breaker. Because Mifuyu hits too many times. Mifuyu gets like a lot of individual hits, but every single individual hit that Mifuyu does is gonna get the boss to counterattack, right? But Iroha only does very few hits, but every single hit does a fuck ton of break gauge depletion. Not to mention, how many people have Mifuyu at really high Ascension? Versus how many people have Iroha at really high Ascension, right? So Iroha is way better than Mifuyu for most people here on this boss. Unless you specifically have Mifuyu at really high Ascension and you're not using Tart here as a defender, then yes, you can use Mifuyu. But yeah, let's try that. Yeah, I'm still gonna use this. Maybe you can time the break a little bit better this time. That's this. I don't know. We might have to just wait for the second counterattack to happen, right? Let's just see. But yeah, to everyone who's trying this yourself, if you have a Mabuyu, even if it's Ascension 0, and if you have an Iroha, Mabuyu plus Iroha does wonders here. Don't need to use skill here, although, no, not yet. As you can see, Iroha plus Mabuyu goes kinda ham. On turn 1 you already had sitting at the boss half broken. Like that goes really fast. Vive le front! We are in Paris. Yep, we are indeed. Actually not in Paris right here, but you know what I mean. Gonna go a little bit lighter with my skill points this time. We're doing this, and then we don't need to use 2 skill points immediately on Iroha, and it's fine. Ow. Why did she sing out Iroha like that? Why do you hate Iroha? She pushed Iroha's turn so far back that she's now behind the Mabuyu. That is terrible. Can you like please not do that to Iroha? It's really not nice doing that to Iroha. But yeah, you can just reset if things go wrong, it's fine. Ouch, we didn't crit. Can you not attack Iroha like that? What are you doing? Why did you hit Iroha so much? Iroha is fucking dead, man. Like, why do you hit Iroha so much? What did she do to you? Oh yeah, she was breaking you, sorry. That actually makes total sense. You can tell when Iro is not critting because she gains bonus MP when she's critting. And yeah, like I said, if you don't crit enough, you can just reset. Genki daso. Okay, don't trigger it yet. We need the barrier to eat the hit, even though the barrier is gonna break from this. But it's okay. We need to eat the. We need to have the barrier to eat this hit. That's good. It sadly did remove Mabayu's buff, but that's okay because we want to wait an extra turn this time. Do we even have enough time to wait an extra turn? Because, like I said, our barrier is not very strong. Okay, I need the extra speed from this. Why is Iroha so slow? Oh, because she got slowed by the boss, that's why. I also didn't use... Oh, I didn't use my speed buff yet. Oh, that kind of explains why I'm so slow. If I don't use my speed buff. And I actually did my speed buff just... Oh, my speed buff is about to get removed. Yeah, that was not good timing. I kind of messed everything up right there. Like, that went about as bad as it could have. Unless... Did it actually go bad? Oh, it totally did, because it actually removed Ui's special buff. Like, Ui's special buff is actually gone now. But at least we can break. Bato endo desu. Yeah, I wouldn't put it that way, but yeah. We are not getting the turn order correctly. This Ui needs special like now. There we go. Do we even crit this? I don't know if we crit this. I think we do. We're not 100%. We're not at 100% crit rate actually. We could potentially not crit this, but we did crit it. Still not a lot of damage. You just don't get a lot of damage. Bonk. Now there's another there's another problem here. Oh, we didn't have Ui buffs, by the way. At least I don't think we did. There's another problem, by the way. If we don't get a bonus turn with our attacker, like our attacker does not get a bonus turn because we don't have the regular Ascension 4 that a regular attacker would have. But yeah, this boss can theoretically, depending on the RNG, screw you over really hard, depending on how your turns line up against the special. I think we need to trigger the special a little bit faster this time. Have you always been faster? No crit. Okay, we need to trigger the counter attack before we use Mabayu. So we actually need to use the attack right here to trigger the counter attack now, because we lose our buff from this. And last time I lost my Mabayu cutaway from this. So now we use the barrier here. So now we have the barrier after the remove. Then we do this. This. Double turn. We still don't break before the next one, I think. Can we break before the next counter? I think we can. I think we have to not use Tart. Yeah, we have to like somehow hope that Iroha survives this. Iroha just keeps getting dumpstered on. What? The boss keeps attacking Iroha for some fucking reason. Like, why do you hate Iroha so much? Iroha didn't do shit to you. This might kill Iroha? Okay, never mind. So I think now we're okay. Are we? Okay, so now the boss is not countering, which means we actually do get to do a break with having our buffs. That said, our Bowhomura has no fucking MP, and Bowhomura not having MP is kind of sad. Like, our Bowhomura really needs some MP, like stat. We do get a 2 turns here though. Okay, that was a bit quick. What is our ascension for again? I don't want to kill the boss too quickly, but we need a max break bonus. We don't get... Oh, we need to use special to even get this. We're gonna kill the boss the moment we actually get our MP. That is so sad. The boss does not have enough HP for this. Okay, we have our buffs now. The only thing that's missing is we need to not kill the boss. Don't kill the boss! Woo! And we need to crit. Like I said, we don't have 100% crit rate, we have like 85% or something. So let's hope this crits. Okay, that's the best we can do. And it wasn't even that good on damage. So yeah, we are sorely missing a single target attacker. I don't have a Madokami that has high ascension, sadly. So sadly, this is about the best we can do. Which is, it's behind my camera so you can't see it, but it's 49th. 49th. Where is it? There it is, 49th. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, to everyone who's struggling, if you have, check if you have Mabayo and Iroha. And if you have Mabayo plus Iroha, use them. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic here. Theoretically, Hazuki plus Iroha could work, but you would have to line up the speed between the two so that Hazuki would get a turn just after Iroha gets her turn. And then Iroha needs to be overall faster than Hazuki. Like it's really difficult to make it line up, but theoretically, if you could line it up correctly so that Hazuki always gets a turn directly after Iroha, that is similar to having a Mabayu. So that would actually help as well if you could make that happen. But yeah, that is, at least in theory, what you would do here. So yeah, as far as defense goes, don't use Tart. Like, I know she's the current rate-up character, but her barriers are not strong enough. I think the #1 defender is Kirika, because you're likely gonna have Kirika at a higher ascension anyway, and she gives you a lot more defense bonuses. In fact, I'm gonna put her in, and we're gonna see how much better she protects the team. Now, she's ascension 5, which is not fair, but theoretically Koito as well, but the thing is, the boss specifically reduces healing, right? If the boss didn't reduce healing, Koito would also be much better than your Tart, but But yeah, Kirika is the #1 choice here, easily. Even if she has the same ascension as Tart would have. I'm not even going to use a defensive thing here. So we're going to go back in. I'm just going to see how much better she protects the team. You preferred Micro Record instead. This game didn't get any life change updates. This game got way more quality of life updates. What the fuck? How insane are you? This game got way more quality of life updates than Micro Record did in like 5 years. What the fuck? Are we gonna be real? Do you know how many quality of life updates this game got over Migrant Record? Did you play Migrant Record in the first 3 years? I'm not talking about English Migrant Record, because English Migrant Record was the Migrant Record at the time of when the game was already out for 3 years in Japan, like 2 or 3 years in Japan. And it already took all of the quality of life updates that Migrant Record got over 3 years and launched with those updates, right? But if you actually were on the Japanese server, as I was in Migrant Record, when the game came out, the game got fuck all in the first 2 to 3 years. It only got very small changes here and there to give you some small bonuses here and there to make it a little bit nicer. The game didn't even have pity. The game did not even launch with pity. So okay, let's make some fucking things clear. If you played a Migrant Record since release, etc., is going way harder on quality of life updates and on listening to player feedback. Migrant Record took years to input some very basic, simple player feedback that players wanted, that etc. Like every single patch they do, they put something in that players were directly asking for. Like, they directly listen to criticism. Like, saying that Migrant Record got way more quality of life is insane. That is just straight up demonstrably false. That is absolutely insane. Anyway. Let's see how much we're defending with this. Are we triggering the... I don't want to trigger the counter yet. Let's wait for the attacks and then trigger the counter. Because otherwise it dispels the barrier. It did! Look, it's not even scratching our fucking barriers. Are you seeing this? It's not even scratching our barriers. It didn't even break our barriers. It had to dispel our barriers because she actually dispels buffs with that, right? Yeah, this dispels buffs, right? But you can see that Iroha is full HP, which means is that her barrier didn't break. It was dispelled. Yeah, it didn't even break our barriers. If you compare that to Tart, Iroha was almost dead with Tart on the team. Now she's like totally fine. She's totally fine. We're gonna do this and then didn't crit sadly. Would have loved to crit there actually. Okay, that's this. People also who think that Migrant Record was better as a gacha are also absolutely insane. Like I said, first off, Migrant Record didn't release with a pity system. Like straight up no pity system at all. Secondly, dupes are way more important in Migrant Record because in Migrant Record you got like your active skills and your most important passive skills all came from Memoria. Imagine, and the more dupes you had, the more Memoria you could equip. So in order to equip your passive and actives, you needed to get dupes. Imagine if, for example, which example would I put? Who's a good example for this? Imagine if this passive right here came from having a dupe. Imagine if you didn't have a dupe, like if you were Ascension 0, you didn't even have this passive. That you on critical hit gain break edge depletion and on enemy break gain 1 SP. You wouldn't even have something like that in Migrant Record until you got a dupe. And then you could equip your Memoria, and you have to equip Memoria that give you these passives. That's how Migrant Record handles dupes. And that is insane. Like, that is a lot. Like, you need dupes in Migrant Record. You cannot go without dupes in Migrant Record. Like, in this game, in etc., you can totally use characters at Ascension 0. Ascension 0 characters are totally fine in etc. But in Migrant Record, you absolutely fucking needed dupes. It was non-negotiable. And on top of that, like I said, and you didn't have a pity, like no pity at all in the game for like the first half year of when the game came out. And people were so fucking mad that they had to shout for an entire half year until the developers put pity in and said, okay, we listened to you guys, we're gonna put pity in the game at 100 rolls or something. That's how long it took. And then, that still didn't help that much because the actual rate, the actual 5-star rate was 1%. 1%. It's a 1% 5-star rate in Migrant Record. With like, I think 60% chance to get the rate up. So for every single roll that you did, it is a 0.6% chance to get the rate up, and it's like a 0.4% chance you get spooked. In etc., it's a 0.75% chance to get the rate up for every single roll, and a 2.25% chance to get spooked. 2.25% chance to get a standard character versus the 0.4% that it was in like in My Record, which is insane to think about that how different those numbers are, right? Now, My Record also didn't have a spark. They had no pity and no spark. Now, after they introduced the pity, it took like another, I think like 2.5 years for them to get spark. And when My Record got spark, it was a 300 roll spark. 300 rolls. That then later, like 2 years later, got pushed down to 200. Okay? So it took a really, really long time for My Record to get to a better point with its gacha. Okay? So let's make all of that clear. And even at the very end of that, they still only had a 1% rate for 5-star versus the 3% in etc. So that is insane, just from the gacha perspective. Not to mention, like, most of the quality of life stuff, My Record got barely any quality of life for most of its runtime. Like, sure, at some point they introduced, like, Blue Auto, but Blue Auto came in after, like, 3 years. It took them 3 years to put Blue Auto into the game. 3 fucking years, holy shit. Maybe even longer, I don't actually exactly remember when it happened. It was a really long time that it took for that. Like, absolutely insane how long it took for My Record to get stuff. It's like when people look at My Record, from the West perspective, people think about the North American version of My Record, which, like I said, released with like 3 years worth of quality of life and gacha updates rolled into the game when it released, and then immediately went out of like end of service a year later. And then people look at they look at the Japanese My Record server when the game went down, but that was 6 years of updates. People are taking the 3 years of My Record NA, like those 3 years of updates in My Record NA and the 6 years of updates from the Japanese server when that ended, and are comparing both of those states to the first month of etc. for some fucking reason. Because even if you extend it further than that first month, etc. got so many updates so fucking fast that even after just now 1 year later, even after just 1 year of etc., just by pure number of updates, we got more quality of life updates and more gacha updates and generally more new stuff added to the game than My Record did in like 3 to 4 years. Was condensed into 1 year and etc. So yeah, the rose-tinted glasses towards My Record are absolutely fucking absurd. And yeah, I say that as someone who's been playing My Record Japanese server from the day it released to the day it went end of service. I've seen the entirety of it. I'm not gonna have any fucking history revisionism on my account. I also remember that about 60 to 70% of the Western player base stopped playing at the end of Arc 1 because the Arc 1 story was so fucking disliked and hated among the Western player base that people left at the end of Arc 1. Like, I'm talking about the people who were playing on the Japanese server. Like, from the people that were playing on the Japanese server that were from the West, about 60 to 70% of them stopped playing when Arc 1 ended because of how terrible Arc 1 story is. I think we did not get a crit there. But yeah. Yeah, also something that Catboy is saying right now, most of etc. standard characters are the meta. In fact, maybe the top 3, or maybe even top 5 of the best characters in the game are like all standard characters. The only one who maybe falls into that is maybe Akuma Homura. But even that's debatable because that's an attacker and buffers are usually more helpful than attackers. But yeah. And in a My Record, most standard characters were a fucking garbage. Absolute hot garbage. There was like regular Madoka who was really good. There was like a Mayu who was really good, for example. Like Mayu and Madoka were really, really good. Mikage, who is one of the later characters, was also really, really good. But those were like the exceptions. And then you had like 40 or 50 standard characters in My Record that were absolute hot fucking garbage. Like absolutely unusable garbage. They would only use if they were like your favorite character or something. But in etc., almost every single standard character is like really good actually. And like highly usable. So yeah. The transformation sequence is missing is kind of sad, yeah, but I can at least understand why they're not here because I'm pretty certain those were the most expensive part of My Record. Because animation is really fucking expensive, like absurdly expensive. So I wouldn't be surprised if the translation sequences were like half of the budget. So they probably wanted to cut it out just to save some money. Also because they would have to do like 3D animation sequences, so it might be even more expensive. Like, I don't know. I didn't miss anything? Good. But how is everyone doing today? I hope all your pulls have been going well, unlike mine. Mine have been going kind of shit. But I hope everyone else's pulls have been going fantastic today. They didn't change company. It's pretty certain they just got some... Actually, I don't know if they changed company, but they just got someone else to do it. Like, it's pretty obvious that they needed to save some money. And in order to save some money, they got someone else who was cheaper to do it. But I think it was still, like, in-house. They, like, had some guy in-house do it, but... that guy they had to do it was obviously not nearly as good as who they had it doing before. But yeah, I'm pretty certain they did it just because they had to save money, because, like I said, I'm pretty certain that would cost a fuck ton of money. Also, by the way, about the people saying you can't use it on the score attack, yes you can. You just have to not apply her wound until you break the boss. But that said, there's not really any point to that anyway, because I don't know. It would take too long to stack up the defense down on the boss if you apply wound that late, so you're not really quite getting there in time. Didn't Etc. also launch with Drop Pity? They launched with Spark. Etc. doesn't really have a pity system in that sense. They have the bonus character at 50 and the bonus character at 100, and they have the 200 Spark. They didn't launch with the 50 and the 100 bonus character, but they did launch with the Spark. Oh, and they launched with 3 fucking % rate. A3 Nemu and A4 Sayaka. Back to back from regular keys. Nice. That's pretty good. But how are people liking the new like radial thing on the bottom of the character portraits for charges and for magic? I think it's alright. I think they need to use it for more than just magic and charge, because for example they could use it for the number of stacks that Akuma has, for example, which you still can't see. Yeah, no. Right? You can't see those. Uh, 85 we already did last time, so there's not going to be anything new until 85. Wait. Okay. 聞いてくださいませ. You have 180 keys for the add summoner for the standard? Hopefully those keys aren't gonna run out by then, because keys run out at some point. You should be careful those don't run out. They last for a while, sure, but not forever. So you should go to your in-game menu, go to your inventory, where you can see your keys, and then see when they run out. Little Cube is still in my phone transformation animation. I don't even remember the Little Cube animation. Huh. The problem is there are not that many gems. Yeah, I think they do still need to increase the number of gems that you get, though, because it kind of feels bad not getting that many. Summoner release might take until April, maybe? Maybe late April? Not sure. Which then would be... yeah, no. Like, Summoner in Standard Banner might take until like June or something. Let's do Fuka first. That might actually also be happening. Bonk. Bonk the enemy. Do it. This guy just doesn't want to break. It's a really long break bar. Dude, I'm spamming specials on this guy. This guy's break bar is insanely long. Jesus Christ. Control algorithm rewards for gems is really slow. It feels like the developers have balanced it in such a way that they sort of expect every single person to buy both of the Magia passes. And to be fair, if you are willing to spend money on the game, the Magia passes are actually really good value. At least compared to like other ways of spending money on the game. Like compared to that, it's really good value. You think the Spark should be 100? Spark is extremely powerful because Spark is an additional on top of what you already got, which is really powerful. So Spark being at 200 is totally fine. I think the bonus character you get at 100... I think they need to change that. I think they need to just do it so that if you didn't get the character in 100, then you get the character at least once in 100. Like regular pity. Instead of the weird 2 bonus characters, but one of them has 12% chance to be the weight up. That feels really bad. More types of events would also be great. That, yeah, I would love that. I have a feeling that Anniversary is gonna announce a whole bunch of stuff. Hopefully good stuff. That's not even a year old yet, yeah. Mag record barely changed at all within its first years. Actually, within its first 2 years, Mag record barely changed at all. They just had different types of events. But apart from just having different types of events, Mag record basically stayed the exact same game for like 2 years. While etc. has already changed a fuck ton, even in that 1 year. Is that an enduring drop lock? Nice. Okay, these are the new ones. Hopefully they're weak to Darc. Come on, are they weak to Darc? Show me your weaknesses. That's weak to Darc. Why are they not weak to light? Tart just released. Why are they not weak to light? Why they gotta do it so bad? The main thing that changed the mag record was the tree system. Yeah, and that was after 3 years. So it took them 3 years, and then they introduced the spirit enhancement system. That was 3 years after release. Akuma Privilege. Every single time an enemy is weak to Darc in this game, you can just bring out your Akuma Homura and just watch them die. You're not gonna have any trouble. You're just gonna win. If so far they have released limited Kyoku that you weren't interested in, that's a positive. Because that means that if they release a whole bunch of limited that you're not interested in, you can safely skip and save, and then when one comes around that you do like, you can spend all on that one. That's great. So you don't feel like you missed out. Like as someone who doesn't give a fuck about money, the limiteds have been great so far. That's that I'm still rolling for them because videos. But if I wasn't doing videos, I was just playing the game normally. First off, I'd be free to play. Okay, I would get the passes. But outside of passes, I'd be free to play. And I would not roll for any of the army units. And I would be swimming in gems. I would probably have... Here's the thing. If I was not doing videos, I would not roll for every character. I would still get the Magia passes, but not buy any gems. I would skip most units in the game. And only roll for units that I want. And this would probably lead to me getting like a high ascension Akuma Homura without being a whale. Because I could just skip all these other units and just use those gems for Akuma Homura. Exactly. But people lack trigger discipline. Here's the thing about Magia Record. In Magia Record, it was known that if you wanted to have any usable character at all, since you needed dupes, you basically always waited until you had at least 200 rolls. Better was 300 rolls, but you would always wait until you had at least 200 rolls before you even started rolling, because you knew that you needed dupes, you knew that you might just have bad luck, right? And people don't have the same kind of like general knowledge, accepted knowledge when it comes to etc. instead. In etc. people roll with like 20 or 30 rolls or whatever, and then get sad when they didn't get the character, like no shit. But in Magia Record, people sort of knew that, yeah, you had to wait for a really long time, for multiple banners, maybe even for months, until you got enough rolls to really roll for a character, for them to get dupes and for them to be useful. But like I said, dupes were a lot more important in Magia Record anyway. But etc. it's insane how many people roll with like 20-30 rolls and then get sad when they don't get the character. Like I don't know what you're expecting. Can't wait for Sim to Psycho rerun. I hope she's getting a rerun on Anniversary, which I have a feeling every limit is going to rerun on Anniversary. Not entirely certain, but it's possible at least. It seems likely at least. What's actually going on in these battles right now? I think Akuma Homura is just clapping her hands and everything dies. I think that's what was happening here in the battle. Okay. What are people saying? Kienasa. Exactly, that's exactly what I would have said. Where are we at? 89. Oh, we're at the boss. So let's see what the boss is like. Apparently the boss is also kind of difficult, but we have to first stop all battle and see what the boss does. Slightly delays all actions. Enemies action on the computer was on action over. Each time match is maxed, based on number of decreased based on number of debuffs. So spam debuffs. Grants a magic each time damage is taken. Increases buff effects to all enemies. So just go all out on debuffers is what they say. Okay, yeah, just have debuffers. So this is a Corbeau shield, even though Corbeau is not even in the game yet. Because Corbeau applies like 4 or 5 different types of debuffs at once and is void type. So Corbeau alone counters this boss really fucking hard. Which is not in the game yet. But the boss is not weak to light. So you would not using a Tart here. Yeah, and removes buffs. Yeah, don't use buffers. Use as many debuffers as you can. Now, we do actually have some debuffs. Because we get debuffs from Tsukuyo. And Kirika applies to debuffs, so we get 4 debuffs actually. However, on the flip side, we have a fuck ton of buffs, and the boss doesn't like it when you have buffs. So that's not good. Let's see what happens. Now, Kirika has really strong barriers, so we're fine. Bonk. M. Zekoto? I don't know what you're saying. But yeah. This is not the sort of team that I would be using here. So now we have 4 debuffs on the boss, unless, you know, resistance, but no one really has debuff resistance in this game. It's like not really a thing. Oh, debuff removal, that's not nice. Why would you do that to me? So what sort of debuffs do we have? We have Nemu, we have Kanae, we have... Yeah, we have a bunch of choices actually. Let's actually change the team around. So, this boss wants you to have as many debuffs as possible. Let's fucking do it. Oh, weak to void. We can use it then, of course. Okay, what do we got? Let's go Kanae. Let's go that. You can stay maybe unless we have a bet. Oh, we have me for you. Oh yeah, we can go me for you on this. That's gonna be great, right? Yeah, we can go with you. You can stay. Yeah, just go full Darc team, maybe with a then as well. Oh, this is great. I like this. Gonna have to change some supports. That's better. And you take this. Not sure. Maybe this one. I really don't know. It's not really that important. Okay, time to smack some shit. We don't need to change borders. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's drown this guy in fucking debuffs. So apparently this guy's entire moveset becomes fucking terrible if he doesn't have... if he has a fucking debuffs on him. Now, Kanae also has a bunch of multiple debuffs. Everyone here has multiple debuffs. It's really nice. Forget, is Kanae in the channel pool now? Yep, I think she is. I think she is. Yeah, she is. Yeah, I use this for crit rate. That helps me for you and Kanae. Tsusuke and Mas? Look at how many debuffs you already have on the boss. Tsusuke Mas, bam. Bonk. More debuffs, more debuffs. Did the new Madoka from the gacha yet? Madoka? What do you mean new Madoka? There's no new Madoka? What? I was still missing out from the game, and I hope they introduce that. Like, it would be a really great time now for the anniversary to say, hey, here's all the stuff that was missing. But this boss doesn't feel nowhere near as threatening now that he has so many fucking debuffs on him. So yeah, just spam debuffs. That's the secret sauce, just spam debuffs. We do need to refresh some debuffs here. Yeah, Wound is about to run out as well. Now it didn't remove all debuffs because it can't remove debuffs that come as part of a passive. Those are unremovable. Okay, do this, do that. Shouldn't Kotof and Asana put alongside her? It depends on when the banner ends. So it's at the end of what? So it's when the banner ends, then plus 1 month, then the end of that month. And so if it ended at a different point in time, if it ended in a different month, then it would still be a month later. We'll reload skill points. So we also missed our debuffs from Mifuya, I think. Yeah, those were also missing. We had really low skill points there. Yeah, it's kind of obvious when you don't have buffers that you suddenly have really low skill points comparatively. But yeah, the boss is drowning in debuffs now. We have our skill points back. And just as I said that, we just barely don't get another turn with our Akuma Homura, sadly. But The thing is, this boss doesn't really do that much if he's starting a debuffs, because his attacks are so much weaker if he doesn't have, if he has so many debuffs on him. I also let my barrier run out. I should not have let my barrier run out, but we're fine. If I were to do this boss again, I probably would wait for one extra turn to let the boss cleanse the debuffs and then reapply the debuffs, and only then, after I've reapplied the debuffs, then break again. Because I broke the boss while I was still reapplying debuffs, and then I didn't have skill points to actually do anything, sadly. But yeah, that was alright. So yeah, just spam debuffs. That's basically it. Spam debuffs at this guy and he can't do much. Also have Kirika, or generally have a good defender. Like a good defender plus a fuck ton of debuffs, and the boss can't really do anything. Because the boss's damage scales with how little debuffs it has. So which means that if it has a lot of debuffs, it does very low damage. And if it does very low damage, it can't get past your barriers. And if it can't get past your barriers, you're invulnerable. Is the idea. Yeah. So that's that. So, what else do we have? I'm gonna reset this team here and there. This. That's the wrong mummy. I just clicked on the first mummy that I saw. Okay, reset some stuff here. You get Cyrano. You can give me crit rate. Crit rate's nice. That's okay, sure. All of these are fine. Isn't that way better? Yeah, this one's better. MP, speed, crit damage. Yeah, it's fine. You don't think I have to combine the new movie in theaters and event for him, etc. Month or something. I don't expect too much for the new movie. Like, it's gonna be something for the new movie, sure, but I don't expect too much. Because they don't want to put any spoilers or anything in, etc. So, they're probably holding back. Is my guess, at least. My Kanai is so bad. I only have her at Ascension 0, sadly. But yeah, I also want more Kanai. It's Tart time. Something entirely unique. You say it every single time, Nick. That's right. La Pucelle. Isn't it more like La Pucelle? Maybe? I don't actually know. I don't know French, I'm sorry. Oh, I see. More 4-star. I also hope more 4-stars on Anniversary. Like, we're really hoping for Anniversary to blow our socks off multiple times. Hope so, at least. Oh my god, we're in the worst place. Oh, like, we're in the worst labyrinth. Which labyrinth? France. That joke was fucking fell apart immediately. Anyway. So at least this one is weak to light. Because it would have been really weird if this one also wasn't weak to light with, you know, tapping here. Look at that. Look at that. We're fucking Tart, man. Vive la France. Oh my god, enemies. And the music is once again not working. I assume they're using the music from Mario Record, because Mario Record had Tart Magica in it, of course, as well. And it had its own soundtrack for Tart Magica. So, it of course means that they, if they use the Tart Magica soundtrack from Mario Record, that one's copyrighted. So, that's not good. So, what do we need? This one comes with a movie. I think it's the intro movie, which we've already seen. At least I've seen it. Have we seen it on stream? I don't know. Hey, welcome to the stream. Oh, they also welcome everyone who's joined in the meantime. Hope everyone's doing well today. Sadly, no new soundtrack. I haven't heard anything so far. But I suppose we're gonna get some at some point. Which stoned me. Now, of course, I'm gonna be skipping all the story because I read Tart manga, you know, so I already know the story. I don't need to worry about reading the story, you know. You're doing your towers, use debuffs, and you're gonna be doing fine. So, despite my bad luck, I'm doing fantastic. I hope everyone else is doing fantastic as well. Now, I'm not gonna have my eye out for the sparkles just yet, but I'll notice when I miss the sparkles at least. So how many parts are there gonna be to this one? I assume 3. I assume there'll be 3 Tarts to Tart Magica, at least the main story. And then of course they can also do all kinds of like other side stuff, like alternate universe stuff, like maybe they go to a magical school, you know, like some holy saint academy, they could go to that, you know. And maybe the student council is like British girls, you know, maybe. Did I only get like 1 5-star and 200 pulls? I did indeed, but I'm still doing fantastic. That seems kind of underwhelming. She seems pretty good. Like, not overpowered or anything, but she seems decent enough. She is the most aggressive defender by a long shot. And I think that's a pretty good niche for her to be in. Like, she didn't have to be, like, ultimately overpowered or anything like that. Like, it's totally fine for her to be just good. How much you feel the chapter of part 1 alone because it's only going to be a part 2 and no part 3? Huh, interesting. Because they're going to have to go quite fast then if you want to do everything in 2 parts. I guess it is. I'm not quite sure. What else do we have? Do you like the enemies? They're not quite the regular kinds of witch minions that you would expect, you know? They're different. Do you think Little Magical will be part of the story game in any way? At some point, yes. At some point, I think every single part of the Madoka Magica universe will be here in this game. In one way or another. So I think Little Magical eventually is going to be in here. In some way. But it might take a while. It might take a really long time, by the way. Story stops at Barbara coming in. I have no idea when that is. Queen Mommy when we get Tamura. And I think that Tamura is also going to be in etc. in some way at some point. Don't know when, but at some point. Who knows? You could have just said it stops after the Corbo defeat. That would have made... Yeah, but yeah, I think I know when that is, yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, last time I think it was already a case last time, but they did introduce the ability now to also in standard difficulty to skip, or not skip, to auto battle boss fights. Because to be fair, now the game's been out for a while, everyone is not gonna be just breezing through standard difficulty anyway. Standard difficulty is only like something that you have to worry about if you're like a completely new player who's just started the game. But even then, it's probably not gonna be that difficult. Or they even do no magical? It's just a way different. Also, it doesn't matter. Also, no magical is not a manga anyway, it's a light novel. But yeah, they can do whatever they want, really. There's really no reason why they couldn't do it. Yeah, no magical is kinda insane. It's easily the most insane piece of Madoka related fiction that is out there. But is it good? It doesn't matter if it's good or not. It's insane. That's what matters. Just read the synopsis for it and you'll know that this one's special. You know what, I think I can pull up the synopsis. Oh, look at that, it's a portrait. Oh my god. Okay, let me read the synopsis for No Magical Girl, okay? Strap in and listen well. In March 2021, the world continues to face the aftermath of the COVID pandemic. The story centers around Kosane Kiriha, a 24-year-old graduate student whose life is on a downward trajectory. Due to COVID, she expects to be hopelessly unemployed when she graduates. In the wake of a head injury, Kosane Kiriha discovers she has no brain. Shortly afterwards, Kyubei appears before her and reveals the space-time continuum is collapsing around her. Guided by a mysterious letter found within her head, Kosane and Kyubei travel 800,000 years into the future. There they encounter the Homo Magica, a species comprised only of magical girls. Haunted by the voice of her stillborn twin sister, Kosane flees back to the present and learns that the year 2021 is a closed room which she can't escape. As she struggles against fate, she discovers the evolutionary history of humankind and magical girls, the nature of magic, the will of the universe, and the origin of the soul. That's the synopsis. That's just the synopsis. So yeah, it may be a bit crazy. And I want an etc. I want an etc. like right now, but I know it's gonna take like many years until that's gonna be anywhere close to being here. Why does it sound like it will fill literally every plot hole in Madoka Universe? You see, that's the fun part. It fills every plot hole with more holes. Is it canon? It's part of the Madoka canon, yes, of course. Everything is canon. Everything that is officially sanctioned by Mangaka Quartet is canon. Everything. Want to see a spin-off of some magical after the end of record? It seems like etc. may be playing like the main story of etc. with like Nami and Ikkyo and ever maybe after the events of Micro Record. But that's just a theory. It says canon as do you put up Magi Madoka Magica anime? When people talk about what's canon or not canon, they just want to have an excuse to not have to engage with a piece of the media that they don't like. Like if you don't like a piece of media, you can just say, whatever, it's not canon. And you can just say, well, I don't have to worry about it anymore because I just decided it's not canon, therefore I don't have to worry. Instead of being like, yeah, it is canon, but I just don't like it. It's really that simple. You could just say, yeah, I'm not gonna argue that it's not canon because why the fuck would you? Just say, yeah, it's canon, but I don't like it. Why is that so difficult to do? Why is that so difficult? Not to mention that both Mag Record and now etc. make a case for there being a Madoka Magica multiverse, and that the Madoka Magica anime is just one universe, and a Mag Record is a different universe, but they're both part of the same multiverse. And for example, Madokami can travel between those multiverses, between those universes. So there is, for example, in my record, there is the Madokami story, and Madokami's story talks about how Madokami is traveling between universes and has found the Mag Record universe, and sees that it is very different from the universe that she came from, right? Like that is already already been a part of Madoka canon for like a really long time. And now etc. is also saying like, yeah, there's many different universes, and the lighthouse exists outside of those universes, but can look into every single one of those universes, right? But then people would go like, oh, but yeah, Mag Record is not canon, and etc. is also not canon, and every single piece of story that says that there's a multiverse is also not canon, and only the thing that I like is canon, because I declare it so. It's like, okay, whatever, man. If they don't like Wabi like some part of Scene Zero automatically becomes not canon. Yeah, you can say you don't like it. It's totally fine. Like I don't understand it. Like if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's okay. You can just stand there and proudly proclaim, I do not like Scene Zero, and just move on with your life. Instead of trying to make an argument for why it's not canon, because somehow that now makes it okay to not like it because it's not canon, because otherwise it's not okay for you to not like it? What? Does it need to be not canon for it to be okay that you don't like it? I don't understand. I really don't understand. But yeah, all of it, it's not just about Madoka. I mean, Madoka Magica at least now specifically says there is a multiverse. So intrinsically, everything is canon. Everything is canon intrinsically because there is a multiverse. It has been confirmed. In multiple stories now, it has been confirmed. But generally, even in other franchises, people generally want to take something that they don't like it and declare it as not canon, because that way they sort of remove it from their brain, right? You don't need to think about it or engage with it in any way or try to reconcile parts of this media, a piece of media that you don't like. Because if you can just say, this part doesn't matter. If you say this part doesn't matter, you can remove it from your brain and like completely move it out of your brain entirely, delete it. And you're gonna be happier with your life, I guess. But you're really just lying to yourself. You're just lying to yourself because you don't want to engage with every single part of this piece of media that you like. It's really stupid. Tart's gonna bring that to all of Scene Zero. She could. You just needed a Shizuku. Just get Shizuku involved and it's all fine. Like there's a list of beings that can move between universes, right? That list is Marukami, probably Akuma Homura, although it's not confirmed. That list is Shizuku from my record. I know it's a pretty crazy list to have like 2 gods and like some depressed girl, but yeah, if we're talking about characters that can move between universes, like not just between timelines or planets, but between universes and dimensions. It's like, yeah, you have Marukami, Akuma Homura, Shizuku, like some random girl. And then you have the Magi record. And the Magi record, of course, encompasses Infinite Iroha, it encompasses the Uwasa Queen Nemu and Uwasa Queen Toka, and the Spirit of Oye. Like, those 4 comprise the Magi record, and can also move between universes. And they built the lighthouse, it seems. Some impressed girl. Yeah, it's Shizuku. Shizuku can move between universes as well. But yeah, that's like the list of all characters that I at least know that can move between universes. And I guess because after the events of, it's like some point in the far future, like really long after Arc 2 and after Migrate and everything, at some point, of course, everyone dies. So I assume at some point, when she died, she joined the Magi record and therefore was also able to move between universes and became AQ. And Kure also became part of the Magi record at some point and then became Yuraka, of course, like Nighthawk. Yeah, Rayfark is really weird. I don't hate Rayfark, but I don't like it either. I'm kind of neutral. I'm really neutral on Rayfark either way. But I can understand why people said it's not canon, because yeah, there's things in there that maybe you don't like. And if there's things in there you don't like I said, just very easy to say it's not canon and just move on. Now there's also another case to be made that in the Magi record universe, everyone at some point joined the Magi record. So if everyone joined the Magi record and the Magi record was able to move with the lighthouse outside of the universes, then is every single Magi record character now outside of the universe within the lighthouse? I don't know. That's a really weird thing to think about. It's also really weird to talk about all of that because on one hand you have Magi record, the game, you have Magi record, the Magi record universe. Like, I'm talking about the Magi record universe, I'm talking about Magi record, the game, and I'm talking about the Magi record, which is the titular Magi record within Magi record, the game, which plays in the Magi record universe. Those are 3 separate Magi records. But yeah, the titular Magi record has left the Magi record universe after the events of Magi record, the game. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. It's very simple, really. Yeah, Rayfark I don't think is very well written, and it feels very circular, and it's also the kind of story that just repeatedly pulls shit out of its own ass. Like I said, I don't really like it. I don't hate it either, though. Like, I'm kind of neutral. But yeah, it's really weird. By the 4th anniversary, I'm pretty certain it's just going to be either a Madoka or a Iroha alt or a Homura alt. Just any of the main characters is going to get an alt, and that's about it. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. Just one of the main characters is going to get an alt. Maybe multiple of the main characters are going to get an alt. That's about it. Maybe Madoka and Homura both get an alt. That's it. Maybe. I saw someone on Twitter daring to believe Yuma will get a 5-star unit. Why though? Why? I don't see it. We're just circling all around here. I think this is where the Kobo fight is. Doesn't Rayfark end in everyone forgetting what transpired during Rayfark? That's exactly what happens. In fact, Rayfark resets itself. You could skip from the very first page of Rayfark to the very last page of Rayfark and you wouldn't miss anything because the entire story resets itself. Did Yuma even have a 5-star unit in the original game? No, not at all. Okay, I think this is it. So what was the point? Good question. It is time, May 7th. It's not May 7th now, it's actually March 10th. At least she's a good 4-star unit with cleanse, even though she's probably the worst 4-star healer. People used Yuma a lot when the game first came out because you needed some cleanse for those debuffs, right? But now as time goes on and more people have like more characters at like more low rarity characters at Session 5, and with good equipment, like with Crystalists, with good portraits, with good support, whatever, on high level and everything, Raider is just better. As far as 4-star healers go, Raider is actually just better than Yuma. In like almost all cases. Raider is actually just better. Rayfag was just one of those boring, it was all a dream or loop troop in the Rayfag. It's not entirely that, but mostly. That didn't do much. You got killed by a little baby. There was a lot you could have done with Rayfag, but they totally didn't. Yeah, we are cleared. Awesome. Oh, it's another one? Oh, it's a refight, of course, because you actually fight Cowboy like many times in the manga. It's kind of like the Team Rocket of Tart, in a way. Reason I both use God Darc is she someone nerfed my healing into hundreds. Yeah, that's what the boss does. If you like check the boss info, it says that it like strongly nerfs healing. So you're not supposed to bring a healer. You're supposed to bring a defender, specifically Kirika. Kirika is fantastic against that boss. And yeah, the Score Attack boss is indeed quite strong. Specifically though, if you have a Mabayu and an Iroha, you can break the boss really, really fast. And if you have a Kirika on top of that, like Mabayu, Iroha, and Kirika, those three kind of shrek the boss really hard. So if you have them, use them. If we will be getting a Migrate R2 window, yes. Not soon, but yes. That wasn't so difficult. The plague, whatever, man. Hominid twins are way cuter than Team Rocket. What? Next time. No, that's for you to figure out. Well. Looks like we've got a bunch of mem sparks. Want to see some mem sparks? You should have freezed Ren. Then it's kind of awkward, to be fair, on that boss, because you have to wait with wound until the boss is almost broken. Aww. Signal to a changing era in a dark age of uncertainty. Wow! Quite amazing. Puera Pictura! She's at the thing! That's Aina, so I'm saying she. I mean, it's reasonable. Okay, I wasn't done actually with not standard, by the way. I missed some stuff. Add new thoughts of anniversary, reckon they limit themselves to part 1 characters. Yeah, I would assume actually they throw some part 2 characters in there as well, because why not? There's President. You think Etc. will survive that? Yeah, absolutely. Etc. is made to last for like at least 10 years or something. Like, this is a long-term thing that they're doing here. Also, Pokemon Strike is never coming out anyway. That movie is a mass hallucination. It was never real. Four-star Kanako, oh man, I wouldn't mind a 5-star Kanako actually. Kanako even. Get Shimeji. Oh yeah, I definitely went past the sparkles and I didn't see it, but it's okay. I probably was ranting so much. If Etc. changes to a new IP, what kind of game do you think will be having? What do you mean new IP? You mean other spin-off? I'm not sure what you mean. How much years do you get transferred for now? Yeah, I think it's about 4 years that it has been delayed for. And it's gonna continue getting delayed even more. We're gonna search dumping a new Marika game. That's gonna be so far in the future, no one has any clue about that. Like, I don't know what anything is gonna look like 10 years from now. Like, who knows what the world will look like 10 years from now. You might not even survive 10 years from now. Because AI is gonna kill us all. Not AI itself. People who want to push AI are gonna kill us all, because they're gonna put all of the world's resources into AI data centers until there's no more resources left. Like, everyone on the planet is gonna have to starve, because we are gonna have to give all our food to the AI data centers. So we're probably not gonna survive that. Yeah, we don't need water. But AI, oh my god, I need so much water. Bonk. I just want it to be good. I wouldn't mind the movie never coming out, to be fair. It would be preferable to me if the movie actually never came out. Okay, was that it? Wasn't there another bonus? There's another bonus in there. I haven't been to the bonus. Is he gonna take me out? No. Something fuzzy. Oh. I can already tell by the way what the portrait is. They are staring down a giant Isabeau in the sky. That's what the portrait is. You can already tell. I could already see some of the fabric of Isabeau's cape or whatever. Like, you can see it. You can see Isabeau's cape on the side. Like the fabric from it. They're staring down a giant Isabeau. AI ultimately can't do shit. AI is really fucking weak and really fucking stupid. Like, this is the sad part, that AI technology is actually really, really bad. Like, absolutely fucking terrible. And it's not gonna be any better, because the current technology, like the current type of AI technology that we're using, Someone's done the math, and with the current type of AI technology that we're using, if you actually wanted the AI to be so good that it was a general AI, and when we talk about general AI, we're talking about an AI that is actually functioning on the same level as a human being, for the current type of technology to be this good, it needs more electricity than the entire sun puts out. It is not going to happen. We would need a completely different type of AI technology for this to happen. And jumping from the current AI technology to a general AI technology would take probably another 100 years. Because that jump is insanely big. Like, that is such a huge jump on a technological level. Which means that AI right now is a dead end. And we know that for certain. Everyone knows for certain that AI is a dead end right now. It's going to take like another 100 years or something for AI technology to have advanced to a stage where it can actually be as smart as a human being. And we know that. But there's a lot of people with a lot of money who have been told that if we don't build all these data centers right now, then China is going to take all our money. So they're like, oh fuck man, if China's going to take all our money, we have to put all these data centers in there immediately. Because if we don't do it, then China's going to take all our money. Oh no. And because of that, we're now spending all the money in the world and all the resources of the world to build some data centers that... This is the sad part. The data centers are never gonna actually be built. Like, the data centers only exist on paper because the resources for them are too fucking expensive and it takes way too many fucking resources. The electricity to run these data centers doesn't exist. We don't have enough water in the areas to actually cool these data centers. We don't have enough data throughput to actually put into these data centers to actually train AIs. No part of the equation can actually function. Not a single part of the equation of let's get these data centers up and running and do AI actually works. Every single part of that equation fucking is broken. The money is also not there. Not a single part of it is there. But we're still spending all these resources and pumping it all into different companies and to different people. We're just throwing all this money everywhere and it's gone. All of it is fucking gone. It's not going anywhere other than into a giant fucking wood chipper. And once the bubble bursts, everyone on this planet is going to realize at the same time, holy shit, all our fucking money is gone and all our fucking resources are gone and nothing has happened. So yeah. That's the AI apocalypse. AI is killing us all, not because AI is killing us, but because we are stabbing ourselves in our own hearts, saying, oh, we need to stab ourselves so that AI can save us. Absolute piece of fucking bullshit. By the way, if you want to talk about my credentials, like why am I saying all of this? I have a master's degree in computer science, and I had the stuff in university. So I'm not going to say that I'm like an expert. Like, I'm very much not an expert, don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert. But I at least know a little bit about it. At least more than the average person. Anyway, I think we're about at the end of today's stream. Like, I could do a Nightmare, but now it's gonna take a really long time. And I'm kind of puckered out. Tuckered out? Which one is it? Tuckered out? Tuckered out, right? Yeah, I'm tuckered out. What do I do for a living? I am a software developer. Full time. So, yeah, that's what I do for a living. So yeah, and by the way, at work, I have once trained and like developed and trained an AI myself as part of something I do for work, and I'm currently working on tools that are supposed to help AIs. Now I want to make one thing clear. Two things. I'm not doing it out of choice. It's because literally no one else in the entire company was free for like the next piece of software we're working on. They're like, we need to work on this piece of software, or we need someone to work on this. Everyone is already occupied except this guy. This guy is not occupied right now, so he's got the time for it. And so they basically told me like, yes, this is your job now. And I went, ah, fuck. And secondly, so it's not my choice. Secondly, I'm gonna quit this company very soon. I don't know when, but at some point I'm gonna quit this company. So yeah. So yeah, I know my shit. I know that all of this is fucking smoke and mirrors, and none of it is real. The stuff that I'm working on in my company that has to do with AI is also very clearly not going to work. But I get fucking paid for it, and I know it's going to fail very soon anyway, and then I'm gonna leave the company, so fuck it. I don't have the energy to fight against this. They both a new character? I think that tells you tells you if it did. Should we do? I don't have that money yet. Are the $20 packs worth it? If you are thinking about spending money on this game and you're not rich, get the Magic Pass, both Magic Passes. Other than that, probably don't spend any money on this game, would be my guess. So yeah. But yeah, that's all I have to say. And that's the end of the stream. There's unlock. Oh yeah, we haven't done that yet. But yeah, I want to thank you everyone for hanging out. How's Tart running so far? She's fine. She's okay. But not OP or anything. She's fine. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, and I'm gonna be I'm gonna be working on my review now for Tart. It's gonna come out probably tomorrow or something. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out. Come on, become a member, hit the subscribe button and all that kind of stuff, blah blah blah. Bye!